by the members of the family, which means that other members of the family will also be cooperating and doing all the petty jobs that are required for these things, the organization of a function. Similarly, cooperation. I don't know whether it will be there or not. I will. So what I was telling is, let us start this sharing this screen and continuing with these modules. Now I think so. Within a few seconds, you will be able to see my screen. That is what I am sharing here. This is also saying your internet connection is unstable. So if it is unstable, then I have to go for your connectivity. की तो बड़ी problem है.
Sir, if you can have your data also on, the mobile data, connect to your mobile data also, just for the sake of duplication.
Okay.
Sometimes the data may be better than the broadband.
अच्छा. Oh. There are 17 participants. I believe so. You cannot see. I believe you are not able to see my screen. Now I will start sharing again. Yeah.
The screen sharing has stopped now.
I'm just trying it again.
Okay, sure.
I believe now it is okay. Yeah, the message has come. The participants can now see your application. All right. You see, we are talking about, again, your internet connection is unstable. I don't know. I have opened Major Saab, I have opened both the ones.
So you keep shuttling between your data and the broadband connection. Sometimes the broadband may work better, and sometimes the data may work better.
So I'll keep both of them open now.
And if you have two phone connections, like if you have Jio and Airtel or something, both the data also you can try. Sometimes Jio works better some places.
No, I have got Airtel and my Wi-Fi. So this is okay, fine now.
Now it is fine. Yeah, voice is fine.
Let us say and hope for the better. This will be continuing till 7 o'clock, and I believe so that most of the members present today will be available tomorrow also. Now see why it is important to learn 21st century skills, because this is very popular topic in education. Although it is not only important for education, but for the work life also, which means that whenever you go for working in a particular setup, whether be it in education line, whether be it in any other line or any industry, these 21st century skills are one of the most popular things, which if we mug it up, then certainly while we are working with the teams, with the individuals, with the groups, then certainly each one of them will clicking in our mind, and we'll be able to try these skills one by one, or whichever comes to our mind, by applying them on the particular location, in the particular circumstances or situation. So, but in the school system, it is very much difficult for a teacher to identify where to start from, where to begin. And basically, there is one thing, one concept which is creeping in the mind of the people or the teachers particularly, ki how do I teach these 21st century learning skills in my classroom teaching? Do we have to teach them separately? So the answer is a strict no. You cannot teach these skills separately as a separate entity. Like for example, nearly 2-3 decades back, the moral science was a part of our language. That means in the Hindi language and in English language, we were having some chapters, some topics which were related to these moral lessons, and like unity in the strength, or strength in the unity. Over there, we used to hear so those that there was a father, he gave one stick to one child, another stick to another child, and they quickly, easily broke them up. But when he combined all these sticks together and asked them to try one by one, none of them was able to break it. So there was to show that unity is a strength. And that way, in Hindi also, apna kaam swayam karo. Do your work yourself. Similarly, these are the skills where we are taught not only the skills, but the values, which are very much important for the survival and thrival of ourselves and our kids also. So particularly if we have got knowledge of these skills, we know something about these skills, and then only we will be able to implement them or guide our kids or the students towards a better future, towards adopting these skills in their daily life, working life, student life, or working life. So in this webinar, generally, we will be answering most of the questions that we have heard from the teachers, the educators, the school leaders, and particularly the workforce, the students also. In the parent-teachers meeting, generally the parents come with some complaint or the other, like saying, ki, sir, my child is very indisciplined, unorganized. When he goes back from the school, he throws his bag here and there, throws his shoes here and there, and then certainly he just picks up his bat and ball and runs into the field. At 5 o'clock, he comes back, have a glass of milk, have some snacks, and sits in front of television. At 9 o'clock or 8:30 or 8 o'clock, he has some dinner and then goes to bed. We have never seen him studying, but we have seen him scoring very high marks. So how does this happen? This all based on the learning styles, and those learning styles, if we combine these skills with those learning styles, then I will be explaining to you one by one when we come to different particular skills, then how to combine these skills in your daily lectures. Next one is, you see there are 12 skills which we are discussing today. Critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. Then information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy. And then flexibility, leadership, initiative, and productivity. And then social skills. You see, in fact, if we want to study them easily or simplify their learning, I have classified them, and generally they are all the educators, our predecessors, they have classified them into 3 groups. The first one is learning skills. That is, first 4 are learning skills: critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. They are called 4 C's. Then information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy. These are called IMT, just for the purpose of remembering them and keeping them in mind. And if we implement them, if we learn them and keep them in our mind while we are working in a situation, then certainly they will keep on popping up in our mind. Ki here I am communicating with such and such person, how I have to behave, what is the way of communicating them with them. I'll discuss with them everything. Collaboration, I have given you just an example. And similarly, further. So this is a simplified chart showing you all 4 skills, all 3 groups of 12 skills for the purpose of simplifying them, for the purpose of learning. So the learning skills are 4. That is critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. These are called 4 C's. Then IMT, that is information, media, and technology. And the last group is FLIPS, that is flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. So we will be first discussing them, I'm just giving them a very simplified definition or sort of explanation, but I'll be dealing with them in details in further presentation. The first one is critical thinking, which means logically assessing any information. Generally, we have got media literacy also. In media, there are a number of informations coming through various sources saying this happened, that happened, but we don't verify them whether they are right or not. So if we have got this critical thinking skill in ourselves imbued solidly, then certainly we make assessment of this information, whether it is right or wrong, whether it is good or bad, whether it is appropriate to forward this message or this information or not, whether it will be detrimental to the unity of the society or it will break it, whether it will create hatred or love. So everything we analyze, and without any sort of efforts, because the thing is that we have to develop this skill. How we will be developing ourselves and in our kids, that we will be discussing when we come down to this particular part. The second part is, with critical thinking, there comes creativity, or creativity which empowers to see the concept in a different light. And in this, empathy also is one of the part, which means putting yourself in otherbody's shoes and see how you will feel if you are in his place.
Excuse me, can you all mute yourself, all the participants?
Yeah, that is what I am muting here, sir. Otherwise, I'll be getting disturbed. Just muting. Don't unmute yourself, please.
One second, sir. Can you put your PPT on slideshow so that it will be full screen?
Sir, it will be difficult. No, I don't know.
No issues.
Yeah.
There's a button on top, actually. It shows slideshow. When you press that, it will come on full screen. On top, you see.
No, it is not there.
Okay.
So probably next time, tomorrow, I'll try it beforehand.
Yeah, sure.
I'll collaborate with you. Then you guide me how to do that.
Sure.
Then creativity empowers us to see the concept in different light, and then leading to innovation. That is innovative thinking. And that helps us, creativity helps us in problem solving also. Creativity basically is empowered only when we are able to put the things together, having ever our own critical thinking, our own creativity, our own creative powers. Our creativity comes to the light. Then collaboration, which means involving a number of people working together to achieve a common goal. Just now, I gave you an example of my daughter's marriage. So certainly, I'll not be alone who is working for that. A number of people will be doing different tasks, different works, different jobs, and they will be all collaborating with one particular person and finding out whether we have done the task appropriately to reach that particular goal. That means marriage is done, is has come to the happy conclusion. They are happily married now. Everybody is satisfied. Everybody is satisfied with decoration, with welcome setup, with food, sitting, disco, dance, meeting together, talking together. Everybody is happy with this. And for that, we have to collaborate. And this is basically in the school setup, this collaboration is very important. As you generally see that in the staff rooms, most of the times, the gossips are going on. What he has taken, what he is wearing, what she is doing. So forgetting about all these things, we discuss about our problems. And if we see other having any problem, then we come together to solve that problem, which means our common goal will be to put that man or person or staff person out of that problem. Give him a feasible solution. And for this, communication is very important, which means communication means two-way flow of information. Just like this webinar, I am speaking, you are hearing, and there is no discussion so far because there is nothing to discuss here. In further PPTs, certainly there will be a lot of masala to discuss. But at present, we don't have. But this communication is a very important aspect of learning skill. Unless and until we communicate with each other politely, with humbly, that is with respect. And it is communicating means not only verbal communication, it might be written communication. I have to give a warning to a staff person, but it has to be very much humble. And generally when I was principal, I used to write, your actions or whatsoever you are doing might force me to take some unpleasant actions which might not be liked by you. So please try to improve upon your responses to particular situation, like taking too many leaves. The pupils are harmed. Their schoolwork is suffering. The syllabus might not be completed. The examinations might not be held on the right time. So that way we are communicating, which means respectfully and with each other, with giving proper place to the person, whether he is group D staff, whether it is management, with this community person, whether principal, whether students, whether parents. Back at home, certainly with our kids also, we have to communicate very humbly. Now the next one is, the first one we come to for the discussion is critical thinking. You see, this is a left brain activity. Whenever we say there are a number of actions which are included in this, or which generally are the part of this critical thinking, which means analysis. And analysis in terms of chemistry as a subject, it is breaking down the information. Breaking down the information to find out whether it is good or bad, whether it is right or wrong, whether it is comfortable or uncomfortable, everything. And this activity, this is critical thinking. This includes a number of abilities. The first one is analysis, which means, again, as I told you just now, breaking down the information into parts, examining each part very carefully, and noting down. Probably I used to do it when I was in the teaching line, when I was in the direct interaction with the staff and students. I used to jot down everything whatsoever I observed, and then find out whether this particular, like for behavior management, what we do is, if we don't go for just at random and shout at anybody, we just to find out whether this particular behavior is a random behavior or there is a pattern of this behavior, and under what circumstances this behavior occurs. Whenever there is low light, low visibility, the person gets annoyed and he reacts. When there is noise in the vicinity of the classroom, then he gets annoyed. So we analyze each and every part of that information or our observation, and then noting them down, how they fit into each other to put into synergy, the part, the whole. Whether this is a general reaction under normal circumstances, also this person reacts like this or not. After an analysis, we go for, basically this arguing word is backed by evidence, but there is more of the word that is discussion. That means using a series of statements which are logically connected to each other, that are backed by the evidence. And then we reach to the conclusion. That means argument within myself. I argue with myself, whether this is right or this is right, whether this is appropriate or this is appropriate, whether this is good or this is good. Both the options, pros and cons of the observation, and then find out which one will be. Classifying is this. Then next is classifying, which means putting that information or observation into different groups, different categories. No, I can't. Which means putting the information into different categories. Different categories in the sense whether this is sensible or insensible. Again, same thing, good or bad. Whether this is right or not. Whether this is appropriate or inappropriate. And then certainly we come to the conclusion whether this is to be done or not to be done. So this is also one of the part of critical thinking. Then comparing and contrasting. Comparing and contrasting के लिए एक बहुत बढ़िया example दूं. Whenever the ladies go to this thing, purchasing a sari, then what they do is I want a sari in red color. Fine. Up to this point, this is good. Now what they do is the shopkeeper shows them a number of colors, different shades. Then they come to this particular thing, whether this is appropriate, right, which I want to, or which is not appropriate, which is my choice, which is not my choice. This will be suitable for me, or this will be unsuitable for me. This will be good or not good. And then contrasting each other. First is comparing. Certainly, in this particular part of abilities, we go for the similarities and differences. Whether this is good or not good is something different, but we go for similarities and differences. And out of those differences, we keep on rejecting the negative part or inappropriate part, or which is not suitable, which is not liked by me, which I don't like. So then we come to the conclusion, after finding out 15-20 pieces of clothes, then I come to the conclusion that this will be very much suitable for me. Now defining also is one of the abilities in critical thinking. How we define, which means expanding the term which is being in front of me. I used to define it by examples, by etymology, by synonyms, antonyms, connotations, denotations. A number of things are there, but we do define. Red color, how do I define? The color of apple is red. Then another thing, color of tomato is also red. Which one is more red? Then it goes for comparing. The next part is describing. Describing the traits or the characters of a particular subject, which means using size, shape, color, weight, its usage, value of that particular subject, conditions under which it will be used, location, whether it will be available or not. Like for example, I say the cow's milk is best for the growth of kids, small children, but whether it is available in the colder areas, the hill areas, No, it is not. So then we describe that okay, this is particularly good, but not available. So that way, go for this ability development. And the next one is evaluation. Once we have analyzed in the Bloom's taxonomy, also we classify the same thing. First we analyze, then we evaluate. And the next step, creativity will be coming after this. Then only we will be able to do that. Whether this is good or bad. Evaluation again. Same thing, the different words keeping on popping up at the same time. Which means describing the worth of the particular subject, comparing it against the accepted standards. Then we evaluate whether this is worth or this is unworthy, whether this is good or not good, acceptable or not acceptable. And further that, after evaluating, we explain to ourselves or somebody else who is with us in that particular situation, it will be how it is, it works, why it is good. I say, not politically or unpolitically, that such and such principle was good, because that is gone. And we are comparing those gone principles with the present principle. So on what principles the present one is working? Then we discuss with each other and explain. So he used to dress up very nicely. The second one says, but the way of his talking was very rude. So that way we keep on explaining and contrasting, comparing, evaluating, analyzing. All these abilities work together. And tracking, of course, the cause and effect. That is called tracking, that when something is happening and what will be the result. What is the cause of this thing and what will be the result? So that is tracking. And finally, we put up all these abilities together, analyze these things, evaluate these things, create something new, explain, compare, contrast, argue, discuss, and then we put all these things together to find a way to stop or aggravate that particular cause or that particular effect. On the basis of the effect or the end result, we decide whether this is to be enhanced or whether it is to be stopped. So with all these abilities, our critical thinking keep on developing. Now say, for example, what is an aeroplane? We go on explaining to a kid what is an aeroplane. A machine that flies in the sky. And then we work on it. How does it fly? On the basis of Bernoulli's theorem. From low pressure to high pressure, or high pressure to low pressure. From low pressure to high pressure. Then keep on discussing it further and again, and then finally coming to the conclusion. They say also that, yes, the lighter gas, when filled in the balloons, they go up in the air. So that is the effect of light air. Then we apply these all informations, and after all these abilities being applied in a particular situation, then we come to the conclusion and apply all of them together. All of them together to put them for solving a problem. But problem solving basis on the basis of critical thing needs one thing. What is the problem? First, we have to identify the problem. Then we put together all these abilities, and then we come to problem solving. Up to this point, I hope it is clear. Then we move on to further. If anybody has got any question, you can raise it now. Fine. We continue is creative thinking or creativity generally. While critical thinking was a left brain activity, as I told you right in the beginning, This one is right brain activity. That was left. This is right, which means both of our brains hemispheres work together for problem solving. Again, over here it will be coming. Creativity means creating something new or applying our knowledge to solve a problem. That is creativity, innovation. Some of the abilities for creativity is brainstorming. You see, brainstorming generally is not a thinking process. It is a prompt answering process, which means the questions are thrown to you randomly and speedily, very rapidly. And then you list all the answers in your brain. You just keep on analyzing. What is your father's name? Without thinking, you will be speaking it. What will be your relations with your father's brother? Then you have to think a little bit, 2-3 seconds, and then answer. And some problems means critical thinking goes for a longer time, probably maybe up to 1 minute. Just like, for example, Kapil Sharma show. He gives an example, the actor thinks about it. No, this is true. This is wrong. So they think about it. That is not brainstorming. Brainstorming means rapid questioning. And generally in our days, there was Bonvita quiz contest where the button was there. 4 teams were sitting over there. And the first team who clicks, they have to answer immediately after clicking. The bulb will glow and the bell will ring. And the host will see who has buzzed. Jiska buzzer baja hai, then only he will be asked, yes. He has to speak out the answer immediately without further thinking. So which means कि rapidly answering all the questions which are generally thrown to you without practically thinking about them. And practically thinking about them is when it is out of question, then your answers may be impractical, may be impossible also. But you have to come out. You have to come out. How will you come from the top floor to the ground floor, possibly with the fastest route? You may say, I will jump. The answer is not right, impractical, impossible. But the answer is correct. If you throw something, if in place of you, I say, how will you put this thing or take this thing to the ground floor? By the fastest measures. So you will say, I will throw. Depending upon whether there is breakable item, fragile item. So brainstorming doesn't need much thinking, prompt answering. Now, combining in the critical thinking, we have analyzed, which means we have broken down the information, broken down the observations into different parts. Over in creativity, we put them together to create something new. Generally, it is done with a planned structure. You break down a refrigerator, means analyze it, put them separately, all the parts taken out. Except gas system, you are required to, like for example, there is in the Western UP, there is a way of transportation that is generally in local terms called jugaad. What they do is that they put this thing, tube well boring, not boring, that fetching machine, motor, on the top of a cart, and then they utilized it. Perhaps you might have seen on the cane sugar juice wala, who are roaming around in the colonies, they are putting that huge machine, motor over there, which crushes also and put their wheels also on rotation, which means the same machine is utilized for motion as well as for crushing the sugar cane to extract the juice. So this is creating something new. This is innovation also. So perhaps there was a plan that one machine for transportation or moving the wheels another machine for extracting this cane juice, then certainly it will be heavier. So they might have thought, like for example, now in three-wheeler rickshaws also you might have some people putting up a small motor on the back wheels that keep on racing. There will be not much race beyond 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers, but they will be moving faster than paddling. So this is one ability, another ability of creativity. Some more are designing, which means finding conjunction or relation between the forms and functions, and then shaping the material for a specific purpose. Just like I gave you the example of sugarcane extractor and motion. Both the purposes are served by same machine. So that is designing new thing. Now this entertainment part or entertaining is creativity, and this is very important for the memory development also. That is skill development. Not only learning skill, there are other skills also. Listening, reading, cracking jokes, singing together, dancing, enjoying, playing games. This must be the part of our daily life, in our family life particularly. When the father comes back from the workplace, a little bit tired, but while looking at the face of the young kids, laughing, cheerful, smiling, everybody sipping, and then enjoying, rejoicing together, he doesn't know whether this is what is the purpose of this rejoicing, this cheerful environment in back at home, while he has got scolding from his boss. So he must try to forget his own situation and try to mingle with the family members, finding out what happened cheerfully. What happened? Let me also enjoy that. What is the information? What is the occasion? Okay, he gets the good news that his son got promotion. His daughter got a job. Then certainly, yes, this is the occasion for celebration. Forget about your office work, office worries over there itself. There is one word in skill development that we call let go. Although it is not easy, because it has just now happened, sometimes we don't forget those things which have happened to us years ago with a particular person. Due to his behavior, we suffered. But let go. Otherwise, what is the happiness? I want to be a millionaire. Is this a success? Is this happiness? No. Lot of money might give me 5-room apartment, a big Rolls Royce, 10, 20 people working for me in my home, in my factory, in my office. But they are all utilities. They are not success. Because every time whenever you reach particular goal, it itself becomes the precursor for the next step, that is the next goal or the next target which you have to fix in your mind. So why waste present? Generally, I have heard somewhere some guru talking about is the past is gone and the future is unknown and the present is the gift. When we give somebody, so this is the present. So enjoy it. Involve in that. Just for few hours, you have to forget everything, all worries, all excuses, everything you just let go. And think about that, when after this particular occasion or celebration, you come back into your workplace, you will be a little bit more cheerful. And the people will be rather shocked and surprised to see you. Yesterday, he got a scolding from the boss, and today again, he is coming to office with a smiling face. Yes, because back at home, if I can't take a sorry figure from workplace to my home, then why should I not take happiness from my home to my office? A smile from my home to my office. The happy hormones. A smile is very contagious. If you are smiling, a person other way, he will be looking at a face and he will also a little bit smiling. क्या बात हो गई आज? मुस्कुरा रहे हो मन मन? हाँ, मेरे को मन मन मुस्कुराना अच्छा लगता है. That's why I am doing it. If you don't like it, forget about looking in my face. Don't look at my face. And this way, when your brain or your mind is without any tension, without any stress, joyful, then learning takes place, and then you get new ideas, imagining new ideas from unknown to known, from impossible to possible. Sitting idle to fruitful. And basically, this was particularly the work ethic of Einstein. Whenever he failed in one, he got shouting. And his assistant used to talk to him, sir, what happened? Yes, I got it. Sir, bulb ban gaya? No, I got one more method by which the bulb cannot be made. And in the final interview with a journalist, when he talked, sir, 1,000 ways, 1,000 times you failed, but you never stopped. Why? Because every time whenever I failed, I learned a new way how the bulb cannot be made, how an electricity bulb, incandescent bulb cannot be made. So I am joyful about that. I am happy about that. So that is giving you new idea. And then further utilizing those information, not utilizing those information or observations into the new experiment. So which means improvising. Improvising upon the bad experiences to turn them into good. So these are all the abilities of creativity, along with innovation, overturning something, which means flipping. If I have to glow, what I need is, I want a happy atmosphere. So if my boss is not working properly, is not happy, is not in a good mood, what should I do? Should I go? Should I not talk to him? But it is my work. I have to go and ask him for his instructions. But he is in bad mood. So flip it. Take yourself into his position. If I am in bad mood, how will I react? Sharma ji, after some time, he will say simply, okay, sir, no problem. Because just now in this webinar also, I tell you one thing, ki people are making, Dr. Sharma might be remembering this thing, ki last time also in all the webinars also, I keep on repeating this one particular thing. Share your name and mail ID. How do I add you without your number? In this huge apartment, there are 50 people. There might be more than 2 or more than 2 people with the same name. Unless and until I know number, how can I add you? With your name, I can't add. With your number, without your number, I can't add. And then I have said, I will send you the material. But where to send? Without your mail ID, without your address, how can I send? So this is trying to understand whenever you are making payment to the grocery shop owner also, where from you have brought your daily ration or monthly ration, pay through Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm, whatever the means you employ. But share the receipt of the payment so that it will be in your records. Even if he removes, at least it will be in your records, Paytm record or GPay record or Phone Pay record. Yes, on that particular day, somebody, I paid for some PowerPoints from somebody else. So he asked, when did you pay? Please share the date and time. So I told 15th of December, 4 a.m. in the morning, I made this payment, took the screenshot and sent him. He was satisfied and gave me the PPT, the access to the PowerPoint or the presentation or the material whatsoever he shared. So that is overturning something. How would you feel when I pay you something and you don't know where from I have got this money? And you keep on prompting the same person and again and again, "Ki you have not paid, you have not paid, you have not paid." So certainly you will get irritated. So it is better to take the first step together in one shot, payment done, sharing the receipt, sharing the name as required on the certificate, and mail ID through which I will send it to you. Simple. Might be 30 seconds more. Whenever there is a mail going from WhatsApp message going from me marketing app ke through, so over there in the last line it is written, if you don't want any further marketing mails from us, please write unsubscribe. That is all you have to do. But there was a gentleman from Karnataka, he keep on prompting, are you shameful? You are a shameless person. You are sending me these messages again and again. Why don't you stop? Manaka, you are a stressed teacher. He is his teacher. He attended one of my webinars. Manaka, you are a stressed teacher because you are not coming to solving the problems. Rather, you are applying, you're using your stress, or rather, stress is driving you to create more stress. You are utilizing that stress is pushing you towards more stress. You just write one word, unsubscribe, and have a peaceful life. But I have not subscribed. Again, same sentences. Sir, you attended one of my webinars and that is why you are on my mailing list. Agar yehi advertisement, if it would have come from Amazon or Flipkart or Meesho or some other sort of where they go for 9 to 12 season sale, 80% discount, immediately they will start tapping it and finding out what is of my use and then shop. So that is overturning something. Flipping, 80% वाला अच्छा लगता है, यहाँ एक word लिखने में problem. Questioning also. Questioning means not only you people putting question to your kids, give them also some space, give them also freedom to ask questions. Let them also ask, Daddy, why you are late from the office today? You might be surprised. Make a funny joke. Sorry, sir. My bike got punctured. Oh, young old man, no problem. If he says this way to you, your whole stress will be in the vapors. It will be all gone. Both got laughing, having a sort of hugging together and happy. Give them some space. Give them time to question you. Not only in studies. So try to give them a space. When there is questioning, there will be creativity. Because question always come with the answer. You say there are hundreds and hundreds of solutions to one particular question. The only thing is that you have to find out the right one. This is one of the another ability for creativity. We go for the next one, collaboration. जैसे मैंने example दिया था, allocation, which means giving the responsibilities to different members of the team, asking them to optimally working on your work on your own task, keeping the major goal in your mind, whether my end result will be adding to the value towards that goal or not, whether we will be utilizing the end result of my task to reach that particular goal of the organization or not. Over here also again brainstorming, but this is not storming, we can say a sort of questioning, slowly, critically thinking, creating something new, and then writing down your ideas without pause, which means without criticizing them. Write down as many solutions to your question are there. Like for example, Dr. Sharma is going to the office, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the school, 7:30 you are out, you find your tire punctured. What will you do? ड्राइवर से आप बोलेंगे, still he will take some time. So immediately आपने क्या किया, मोबाइल निकाला, ओला बुक करी, within 5 minutes ओला is there, you go with the instruction left to the driver, bring that, get that repaired and bring the car to the school. So at least I will be in time in my office, setting an example, and this is called professionalism. The first thing in professionalism in any industry is commitment. Whatsoever you have to do commit to it. Do commit yourself to it. Discipline, punctuality, regularity, promptness, anything. And this goes for next step, that is decision making. अभी आपने फटाफट many options were there. मैं अपने लड़के को बोलती हूँ, मेरे को बाइक पे छोड़ देगा. My husband is also going towards the office, but he has to take a long way to his office, so he might be late. तो आपने finest and most refined solution is Ola cab book kari and move on. In collaboration, we do this. Again, internet connection is unstable. Let it be unstable. That is his problem, not mine. Now, delegating means when we collaborate, then we delegate the duties. Driver को बोल दिया कि repair करवा के लाना. Cab driver को बोला कि drive me to the school. Take the shortest route, not the fastest, shortest route, because we have to be safe also. So this is delegating and expecting them to fulfill their parts to the best. अपना task आप करिए, वो task है आपके सबके अलग अलग. Like running a school, the PN has to ring the bell in time. 8 o'clock we start, 8:20 we have to start the assembly, means 8:20 there should be the bell. We expect the teacher to be in their class at 8:20, but it will never happen. I'm not talking about the indiscipline over here, because while we have got 40 minutes of classroom, over there are two things which happen. The first is, which we call interaction time. And the second is transition time. Transition from one class to another, it takes time. Might be 2 to 4 minutes, but it takes time. So it will never be 40 minutes lesson. It will be 32 to 35 minutes lesson. Delegating means try to be in time, which means even when the bell has gone, you're gossiping. And when the principal asks you why, ma'am, you have got period in third day. Oh, I never heard the bell, because you were busy in something else, which is off-task behavior, which should not have happened. Once we have delegated you a task, try to commit it. Try to commit yourself to that task that you will be reaching in class maximum by 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, you should be in your class. Fulfill it. Examination ke time mein, think about that. If there is a major thing going on in your life, you delegate somebody a task and he doesn't accomplish it. He fails to do the task. Who will suffer? He will have a scolding of you. Then forget about it. But you will be the last sufferer. You will suffer for that. So don't go for that. ये आई जो होता है ना, this is very much painful. Don't expect, but at least ask them to fulfill their responsibilities dutifully, with commitment. Come down to the conclusion and then give me an explanation if it is required. Collaboration also needs evaluation of the product, the processes, the members of the groups involved, and different groups that are given the different tasks. Like, for example, when we have got the marriage ceremony and there is a cook sitting over there, everything is there. Sir, there is no salt. What can I do? I will not be going out because I am the head of the family and my daughter's marriage is there. I have delegated this task of bringing grocery to one particular person or 2, 3 children of our home, then certainly Amit, where is salt? Oh, Chacha, just now I am getting it. Forgetting is a part of the task. Whenever you are also doing something, you might forget something. But don't evaluate the person's ability on that failure. Evaluate on the good outcome, the best outcome, the better outcome, which means the positive one, which is contributing to the group task. Goal setting means, I have given you the example, a number of ones. And then for certainly the final decision as a group leader will be yours. Or if you are a team member, then your boss, whatever he decides, we have to organize an annual function. And I am in charge of audiovisual club. So certainly I will be putting all the teachers, 3 more teachers with me, 20 students along with me, putting up the microphone, putting up the speakers, putting up the amplifiers, one controlling the bass and the treble, and everything perfectly working. Then certainly we say that this group has contributed to the annual function positively, with a positive outcome. Yes, that can happen. And that way, the positivity comes to the person who is working. He is motivated to do more. Managing time, that is time management, is very much important, is also equally important. You have to accomplish a task. But when there is no time limit, there is no schedule of doing that task, then it is a waste. So we have to schedule the task. And then tracking the progress, of course, towards the goal. Yes, audiovisual club, what is your progress? Sir, we have ordered for the wires. Yes, social studies, sir, we are putting up the exhibition. Language club, sir, we are training our compeers. Everybody is working. Photography club, yes, sir, our cameras are in working condition. Just a final touch. And that way you build a team also. Which means, if you keep on working together, this is team building. There is one thing which is working, cooperating. Initiative एक इसमें flips में आया था. Initiative, which means working even overtime to achieve a common goal. That is initiative. Putting up some extra efforts to achieve your goal, your group goal, your team goal. And if the team leader is appreciating efforts, oh, you have worked 1 more hour and you have to still work 1 more hour. Okay, Devinder, bring a cup of tea and some snacks for whole team. A few hundred rupees. But they will be happy. जब आपके घर में कारीगर काम कर रहे होते हैं, छोटा छोटा काम रिपेयरिंग का होता है, and they say कि sir, there will be 2 days task. If you give them a cup of tea midway, they will be happy. Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. They will be appreciating your effort. Ki yes, except that money which we are earning through this, we are given something to believe. Yes, they appreciate our efforts also. Now the communication is the last of the 4 C's. Analyzing the situation, which means the observation, the location, the situation, the environment existing, the purpose, the sender, the receiver, kisko bolna hai, kisne bolna hai, the medium of instruction, then context of a message. So analyzing the situation, this is one of the abilities of communication. You are going to a marriage ceremony or function, birthday party, and you are talking about some tragic moment of recent past. So that will not be appreciated by anybody. And similarly, reverse of it also. So choosing a message also is important. Whether you are going to have face-to-face communication, whether you are to going WhatsApp application, or whether you are going to write a mail, or whether you are going to put up a report, depends. So choosing a medium also is important for better communication. Evaluating messages, which means deciding whether this is a correct message, humble, request is most appropriate, respectable language, even though you are scolding. Like, for example, in the Western UP, if our subordinate doesn't do any work, we shout at them, यार एक काम ठीक से नहीं कर सकते. And if you go to Lucknow side, क्या यार ये भी काम ठीक से नहीं कर सकते भैया जी. The same thing is being presented in different tones, in different textures, in different voice, innotations. Depends upon in what situation you are. You have to be very much humble all the way, whether you are the boss of the company, whether you are head of the department, whatsoever it is. Be humble, be respectable. Then you have to evaluate the message, whether it is reliable, coming from a reliable resource or source. It is authoritative and up to date or not. I give you an example. Just now there is an alert to all the state governments about recurrence of another what you call a strain of COVID virus. If there are more than 1,200 cases per week, they are reporting immediately to INSTAG. There is a lab. They have to send the sample, analyze, then isolate the patient, treat the patient, rehabilitate the patient, and then go back into the society. Without these 4 steps, nothing to be done. Now, following conventions, what are the existing ones? Existing norms, that are conventions. And then using those norms for the medium chosen. So those conventions, which means you have to adopt protocols, you can say. Next one is listening. Listening is very important, and as I told you in the earlier one, there is one particular ability that was which we were doing is storytelling. Entertainment में जब हमने बात करी थी, try to listen to somebody and go for storytelling at the bedtime. This particular thing has eroded from our present social system, present family system. It has gone out. There is no storytelling session now. There is no reading session now. Bring some comic books for your kids. Those who are small, जो youngster है, उनके लिए ला सकते हैं. In our time, Janet Blayton was very popular, but nowadays they are considered to be inappropriate for the teenagers, as generally the educationists say. But the language is very easy. So it depends upon what you choose for them to read. That is decoding the written words, images, in order to understand what their originator is trying to communicate. Say, for example, you all are mute. In other webinars also, I say you are mute, and I am saying you, so far have you understood my concept, what I am explaining or what I have explained to you so far? They will unmute themselves and everybody starts saying yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. It will be disturbing. So it is better I have given them the signal. This for yes sir. Show me a thumb. Yes, you understood. If you don't understand, put a cross. Yes, Ajay, what did you not understand? Unmute yourself and speak it out. So that way, our time also is managed properly. And then speaking, the spoken words. मैंने अभी आपको example दिया है Western UP का, लखनऊ का. हम एक काम ठीक से नहीं कर सकते मियाँ. अब मियाँ भी ना करो तो भाई एक काम तो ठीक से कर लो. चलिए इसको ठीक करिए. This is one of the ways of putting the things together and giving you the body language, the facial expressions, visual aids to convey the idea that exactly what I want, this is not that. The next one is turn taking, means effectively switching from receiving idea to providing ideas, flipping, turn taking. First you listen to somebody, then you try to analyze then you try to evaluate, then you try to create, and then put forth that particular idea and communication. Then two-way communication between two people, it is appropriate or inappropriate. The next one is using technology, which means abilities and limitations of any tech. Like for example, just now it has happened right in the beginning, connectivity problem. So Major Ranjit gave me a beautiful thing that if you have got two mobiles, two connections, keep both of them open. If one is working, another is not working, so this one will work. If this is not working, another one will work. Connectivity will remain constant and your presentation will be uninterrupted. Yes. Similarly, putting up that, what do you call big screen, sir? आपने अभी क्या बोला था? Screen sharing में, full screen.
Yeah, slideshow
में अभी बोला था मेरे को. I will try tomorrow in my free time. I will use that because PowerPoint presentation में slide generally तो हो जाती है. I don't know how to use it over here in webinars. So that I have to utilize with my daughter as is back from her in-laws place. तो अभी 10-15 दिन रहेगी. तो I will be under her training and then finding out the use of this particular part, how to utilize it. Or otherwise, Major Saab, I will be returning back to you tomorrow morning. I will give you a call first and then I will seek your guidance how to do that. Dr. Anshu Chakravarti is also there. She is the owner of Lal Bahadur Shastri, that some Academy of Education or something. Writing is also the same thing. You see, writing part is also now going down and down, because in our days, there was one particular exercise that was called Pressy writing. Similarly, in the post offices, the postcard has gone. Telegram writing is gone. So how do we develop these skills? In the substitute lessons, give them this exercise. Read down this paragraph, write it in 20 words. The main idea behind this paragraph. Give them some exercises to brief them or squeeze the information into minimum words, putting them together, an exercise, and then keeping it to you. Yes, this is the information being extracted. Writing small sentences or paragraphs for the purpose of communication. WhatsApp में अभी मैं देखता हूँ कभी-कभी मेरे पास इतना मैसेज आता है, मेरे को 2, 3, 4 बार ऊपर करना पड़ता है, whole message, 1000 words. What is the fun? That is being used as a substitute for Telegram or Pressy writing. So try to brief yourself, put yourself in the minimized word and communicate maximized idea. What you want to communicate. Now the IMT part, we will be starting tomorrow. IMT and flips, tomorrow we will finish. If anybody has got any questions, I will stop screen sharing now. And then you can share your ideas. If you have got any questions, then certainly I am over here to discuss and remove them all forever. Not forever. If this is removed, something else will come up. So Dr. Sharma, again, you are quite busy till 6. That's just like Mrs. Nivedita Anupama Sharma ji is also there, want to speak something. Yes. Boliye, madam, boliye.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
Sir, I just want to know how
Yes.
can we inculcate critical thinking?
What is that, ma'am? Again, come back.
How can we inculcate critical thinking in our students?
This is what I told you earlier also, ma'am. कि critical thinking की जितने भी parts हैं, what are the different parts of critical thinking? Abilities that are required. Analyze. Evaluate. ये Bloom's taxonomy, everything is based on Bloom's taxonomy.
So
Yes.
through Bloom's taxonomy, can we inculcate this
Yes.
critical thinking in our
Yes.
students?
The steps are utilized. The steps that are utilized are same. The first is information. The first step, which is knowledge. So you break it down stepwise. Analysis is the first step. Last three steps is first is analyze, which means break down the information. Critical thinking needs breaking down. The information has to be broken down into different parts. Then evaluate what is the weight each part carries. You give me an example of your subject, I will analyze it and create something new, critical thinking. I will give you an example. Osmosis. This is my, I'm a man of science. That's why I can give you examples from science only. Like for example, Bill Gates ka aaj ki date mein, the top 5 books, and I have purchased today itself, and I have gone first chapter, Mendeleev's Dreams. Mendeleev's Dream, not Dreams. Mendeleev's Dream. In that, it is explained that how the periodic table was discovered by Mendeleev was just a chance that he dreamt of it. Everybody was trying to classify somebody on the name, in the name, number of weights, the number of newtons and all that. But he came up with this thing, ki I got a dream last night that they can be classified on the basis of their atomic numbers. This is whole book, 268 pages. First chapter, beautifully written. And it is not only for the science people, for those people who want to go for deep thinking, must read this book. First chapter mein mere ko maze aa gaye aaj. Try to do that. And then critically evaluate. Once you have evaluated the importance of each part, then put together then information to give your views. Again, I am saying right or wrong, bad or good. For society, for me, for group at large, whatsoever it is. So that way, each one of these skills has to be developed without teaching them separately. अंग्रेजों ने 200 साल शासन हमारे ऊपर कैसे किया? Give this analysis. कैसे किया? Breaking down our systems first. And then coming to the Macaulay system of education, where he specifically mentioned this, कि if you want to break India forever, break down its education system. And that is what they did.
Sir, this we are talking about subjects, but in our daily life, how can we develop this skill in our students? This is my
these
question.
Abilities, you have to develop these abilities. This is what I am saying again and again. Think ये PowerPoint मैं आपके साथ कल सवेरे शेयर कर देता हूँ ग्रुप में, मेल में या ग्रुप में. Are you people available on 23rd or not?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Major साहब,
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
आप ग्रुप में लिख दीजिएगा. I will open the group for the general comments. That is paid group. I have not opened it because there were certain people right in the beginning from Nigeria, Israel, Indonesia, and they kept on putting up that nonsense type of these messages. Earlier also these things happened. Bitcoins ke baare mein bolenge, then some objectionable toys and all that. So certainly I will open it and give it to me your yes or no. So if it is possible for day tomorrow, day after, then tomorrow we will not be having it, this session, but we can have a little bit of discussion about them in the media. But depending upon the availability of our co-trainer, Dr. Nivedita Madkikar, whether she is available.
I think 23rd evening won't be an issue at all.
Will not be an issue.
Yeah, it
So
is fine.
I will open the window.
For me
and-
also no issues, sir.
Oh, that is great, Fawzia ji. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Mr. Shiva Murthy is also there. Dr. Anshu Chakrabarti is there. So if I can have a little bit of your Mohan ji is also there, लेकिन आज घूंघट में है, video नहीं खोला है. But certainly, I will be putting up. अगर आप चाहते हैं, I will give you some situations. या आप questions put up करिए ना group में, and I will try to
Sir,
answer.
let us make it more practical.
हाँ तो practically है सर ये.
हाँ मतलब ऐसा सेशन होना चाहिए कि मतलब theories today is covered next in next
नहीं सर,
session.
ये थ्योरी नहीं है, ये थ्योरेटिकल पार्ट है विच यू हैव टू डेवलप इनटू प्रैक्टिकल पार्ट. इस प्रैक्टिकल पार्ट के लिए बेस्ट थिंग इज दैट कि यू पोज द क्वेश्चन टू मी, गिव मी रियल लाइफ सिचुएशन.
Yeah.
कोई भी आपके साथ प्रॉब्लम है, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग सर इसमें बताइए कैसे होगा. Certainly I will help you out. I will
And
keep this window open till 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. उसके बाद मैं इसके आंसर्स पूरे दिन लिखूंगा आपको, जिससे you are all satisfied. And day
and
after
whether
we
any
will
age
come.
group is defined, sir, like whether any age group is defined, say from class play to class 12.
सर ये बताऊं मैं, ये जो 21 सेंचुरी लर्निंग स्किल्स है या लर्निंग स्किल्स फॉर 21st सेंचुरी है, 12 skills are there. They are very much important for group lower KG to 70 years of age. वहां तक के लिए जरूरी है, बिकॉज अगर आपको ये स्किल्स डेवलप हो गई तो certainly you will be able to imbue these qualities in your kids also, your students also, your grandchildren also. अगर
Can
आपके
I
अंदर
just share one? Yeah, sorry,
yes
sorry.
yes नहीं
Sorry.
नहीं carry on.
Actually, I was just thinking a simple example if we take for this thing. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, isn't it?
Yes ma'am. Yeah.
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. We all know this. If we tell the students, even maybe pre-primary or the primary students also, how will you prevent the Humpty Dumpty from breaking? So critical thinking can be here also, isn't it?
Yes, very much ma'am, very much right. I appreciate ma'am, I appreciate your example.
So critical thinking can be in different ways.
Yeah.
Maybe subject wise, so we have a lot of CBSE questions giving on critical thinking.
Yes, certainly. And there is a notification from the board this time also that there will be 40% of the questions based on, कोई बोलेगा मेरे को बताएगा?
Competency based bhi hai na?
Competency based. And in the subsequent years to come, it will keep on increasing, which means ye 21st century skills agar aapke andar hongi, then only you will be able to answer. So let us start from Humpty Dumpty. How can you prevent a fall from a height? Yes, certainly, Dr. Saab. I will be sharing it tomorrow. By tomorrow, today evening, it will be converted, and tomorrow morning, I will mail it to everybody separately. Only PowerPoint recording today. PowerPoint I will not be sending. I will be sending in the last.
Okay.
Yeah. In the end, I will be sending you the PowerPoint also, although I don't generally share the PowerPoint, but this particular aspect is very important for you people to understand first, and then share it with your, means implement them in your classrooms or in your family. So certainly I will share with you that PowerPoint.
Sir, do we need to share our mail IDs right now?
Madam, I have got everybody's mail ID because every time I am insisting your name and mail ID through your WhatsApp number. बस ये तीन चीजें तो चाहिए मेरे को. आपका नंबर मेरे पास है, नाम है आपका सर्टिफिकेट के लिए, मेल आईडी है, मैं आपको भेज दूंगा. I have noted it down in all the papers. Here is my diary, ma'am. जैसे कि मैं पहले बोलता था. This is my diary. I keep on writing all the details here. सबकी मेल आईडी यहाँ पर लिखी हुई है. It will take nearly 40 minutes to convert, and then I will send it to you tomorrow morning. First thing.
Sure.
So I think so this is the time to wind up and see you day after, but tomorrow I will be sending you all the recording of today's session. So if there is nothing more for anybody to share, Vishalji, then let me leave now, and you also go for a happy dinner.
I would like to thank you, sir.
Oh, Chandrika ji, thank you very much. Chandrika ji, thank you very much. For such a long time I have been longing to hear from you. Nirmala ji, thank you very much.
Fauzia.
Thank you for you.
Fauzia is.
Fauzia, acha.
Yeah, I'm from Hyderabad, sir.
Yeah, I know. I had a talk with you, no?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
very happy. I too take soft skills and communication skills at degree level, sir.
Okay, it is
So
good.
Yes, sir.
You
I
see,
have learned a
you
lot.
see,
Yes.
Fauziya ji, just 1 second, 10 minutes, 10 seconds I will take. You take
Yes.
why these engineering and medical colleges and degree colleges, they are taking senior, this thing, soft skills as a subject. Because at the school level, they have gone.
I can understand, sir. Sir, for 7 years, as I told you, I got into English department.
Okay.
For 7 years, OU. I'm working under OU, sir, Usmania
Okay.
University.
Yeah, yeah.
So for 7 years, they have given us a responsibility. Apart from literature, we need to take care of. Through literature, we need to talk about the soft skills
Soft
and
skills.
communication skills.
Right.
So I'm taking care
So
of that.
nice
But
of you.
you have given a great lecture today, sir. See, in each and everything you put that. That's not an easy task. As sir was telling that you need to be a little bit enthusiastic enough.
Yeah.
But this topic is very dry. I can understand because I have been dealing this particular subject for 8 years now.
Mhm.
Even I have been in this field for 18 years, sir.
Okay.
But university has given us a responsibility to teach soft skills. So it was very dry subject, but we have integrated with literature.
This is what I am
Example-
saying. For the school subject teaching also, they have to be integrated and not as a
Yeah.
different subject. They have to be
I can
integrated.
understand. I can understand, sir. Yes, sir. Because
So,
from school level, they were not like, we have not been inculcated all those habits. For that reason, maybe now universities are asking us to inculcate those habits in our student community.
don't
guess.
worry, Fauziya ji. We are going to put it again into action in the school level. So we will take this responsibility from you again back and putting them in the school level. Thank you very much for being here this evening, gentlemen and gentle ladies.
I'm very happy. I'm delighted, sir.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot. I'll also be making this kind of lecture, sir, and I'll impart that.
Oh yes, sure. Most welcome. I will have a talk
Where
with
are
you.
you from, sir? Where are you from?
I
sir?
am from UP, Uttar Pradesh, Ghaziabad,
Yeah.
Delhi UP border.
Thank you so much, all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very
Day after
much.
tomorrow, the next session will be, sir.
No, day after will be next session. Tomorrow will be your problem solving. I am opening the window just now till 10 a.m. in the morning, and then we will interact with each other through that window. Right, Major Saab? Have a nice dinner, nice walk,
All right, sir.
and nice sleep.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Good night.